Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Blender Easy, and in today's video we are going to create this simple cool looking looping animation inside of Blender without using any third party add-on, but with the help of simple tips and tricks inside of Blender and with the help of our geometry node. So if you're new to this channel, then please consider to subscribe this channel and also hit the bell icon to get more updates. So without wasting any much more time, let's get started. So as always, here we are in Blender, and now I'll simply hit A to select all of them and I'll delete all of them. Then press Shift A, select your mesh, and we are going to choose plane. Press SY to increase the scale on Y axis somewhere up to like this. Then hit Ctrl A and apply scale. Then press Tab to choose your edit mode. Hit A to select all of the vertices and simply press Ctrl B and click to enable our bevel. Go to the bevel option and let's increase the width over here, but make sure to choose vertices and then increase this width somewhere around like this. I think this much looks good, and then I'm going to increase the segments up to 6. Okay, and press tab. So we will get this kind of plane. Then press tab again and press 2, which is a shortcut key for selecting edges. Simply hit A to select these edges, then press E for extrude and Z for extrude this in Z direction, and let's extrude it like this. After that, let's delete faces like this. Then I'm going to select this, and by holding alt I'm going to select this bevel, this edge over here. Then press Ctrl B for bevel, and let's increase the bevel over here like this, and also decrease the segments up to 1 over here. Okay, and press tab. Then after that, press tab again, press 3, which is a shortcut key for selecting faces. Select this face and press I for inner extrude, so we will get this kind of extrude over here like this. Okay, so we will get this kind of stuff. Now let's go to the modifier, go to add modifier, generate, and we are going to choose solidify, and let's increase the thickness outward somewhere around like this over here, and let's minimize it. Add modifier, generate, and we are going to choose subdivision surface, and we will increase the levels viewport somewhere around like this. Right click and we will choose shade smooth. Then after doing that, I'm going to simply apply this modifiers over here. Okay, so this is our stuff. Now we need to create our geometry node, and then we will try to animate it. So let's select this and go to the geometry modes and create a new geometry mode over here. Now after that, first of all, hit spacebar and type join geometry and simply bring this in middle of this, and let's select this too, and let's try to bring this over here. Now this is our main structure. Now we need to add our sphere over here for animation, so hit spacebar, and now we will type UV sphere. So simply click over here like this, and we will join it over here. So as you guys can see, we will get our UV sphere over here. Okay, now what we need over here is that it should look in viewport. So let's do one thing. Let's select this, press Ctrl Shift and simply click on it. So we will get this extra step for view as well, because these two are required. Okay, so now our UV sphere is there, and now I need to adjust the position of it. So for that we need to apply transform node. So hit spacebar and search for transform geometry and click on it, and simply bring this over here, and let's try to bring this up to this. Okay, over here. Now I need a shade smooth over here, because it's quite look rough. So hit spacebar and let's type for shade smooth. So set shade smooth and try to bring this over here. So that is also over here, and I'm going to apply materials to it. So let's do select this one, go to the materials and add one material, double click, and let's call it as plane over here. And I'm going to choose somewhere around this color. So press Z and choose material preview. I have this color over here. You can choose whatever color you want, but I'm going to stick with this just for now. I'm going to use this for our final output. I'll find some beautiful colors to it. Just for this one, I'm going to choosing this. Okay, so let's try to select somewhere around like this, or if you want, you can choose white color as well. Okay, somewhere around like this. Okay, so this is the plane. Then I'm going to create another material over here, and let's call it as red. Okay, and choose red color as well. Now I want to apply that red color over here, so and this plain color for this. So what you can do, let's select this too, and in between this I'm going to apply one mode called set material, which is obviously already over here. So let's apply one over here, and for this pair I want this red one. So I'll select this, hit spacebar, choose this set material over here, and for this one I'm going to choose this plane. Okay, and now I need to animate this pair. First of all, I'll go to the top view, press Z and choose wireframe mode, and we have this perfectly aligned. Okay, then go to the front view, and now I need to bring this over here. So hold Alt Z, press Z and choose solid view and hold Alt Z. Okay, now let's select this transform, and now let's change the Z axis of this somewhere around over here. Okay, you can press Z and choose wireframe mode to see whether it's proper or not. Okay, this much looks good to me. And now they want this to animate on y-axis, so let's move this over here initially. Okay, and now we will create our keyframes. Okay, like this. Now let's go and right click and create insert one keyframe over here. I'll go to around 30 seconds and I'll right click, or let's go somewhere around up to 60 frames, and I'm going to make it plus 2.2 over here, and right click, and I'm going to insert keyframe, and somewhere around 1.22, I mean 120 frame, I'm going to make it minus 2.2, right click and insert keyframe, and let's make this 120 long. And if I see this, I'll get this kind of animation over here. You can go to the animation portion over here and you will find those geometry node keyframes over here, but if it's not visible over here. And after doing that, as you guys can see, we can see those keyframes over here as well. Okay, so our animation is ready. If I hit play, I'll get this kind of animations over here like this. Okay, now let's go to the layout mode and press Z and choose material preview. We will get this kind of material. Okay, now we need to create duplicates of it. So press shift A, mesh, and we are going to not mesh but shift A, and we are going to create one empty plane axis. So go to the empty and choose one plane axis, and we will keep it as it is. Now I need duplicates of it, so I'll go to the modifiers, I'll go to the generate, and I'm going to choose array. Let's make this x factor 0. Go to the object offset, let's select our empty, or then I need to create a duplicates on Z axis. So let's try to adjust this somewhere around 1.1 or somewhere around this much over here. I think this looks good to me. And now we will increase the number of copies of it like this. So let's make this somewhere around 15 like that. Okay, this much looks good to me. And now if I select this plane over here and I'll go to the transform, and if I rotate it on Z axis, I'll get this kind of alternations over here. So let's make this 45. Okay, and if you see this over here, I'll get something like this. So let's adjust it somewhere around up to this. Okay, and now press shift A, go to the camera, and we will select our camera and hit 0. Then press N, which is a shortcut key to enable these options, and let's enable our camera to view, and let's zoom out a little bit like this. And now we need to add the position of our camera like this. I'm going to bring somewhere around over here, and let's make this focal length somewhere around 200, and let's adjust your camera like this. Let's disable this and try to zoom in like that. Okay, you can select your camera over here, and you can rotate your camera like this. Okay, etc etc like this. Okay, this you can choose somewhere around like this over here like that. Okay, you can rotate your camera like this, and then you can try to create a tilt. Okay, so on y-axis, let's rotate our camera and then try to rotate it like this. Okay, so let's keep it as it is like this. And okay, and let's try to adjust your camera, or you can select this over here. Let's try to adjust this camera over here, and you can select this plane. You can go to the modifiers and you can increase the number of copies somewhere around like 25. Okay, and try to adjust our camera somewhere around like this. Okay, and let's increase the number of copies like this. Okay, so if you hit play now, we will get this kind of animation over here. And if you hit 0 and if you go out of this camera, we will get something like this. Now I need rotation for this camera, so let's try to do that. I'll press shift A, I'll go to the empty and I'm going to select this plane axis. Let's double click and let's call it as camera over here. Then first of all select this camera, and then select this null camera over here. Let's call it as camera controller, like this. So we have created this camera controller and this camera, and now I need to make this camera parent with this. So let's select this cam controller empty, and by holding shift I'm going to select this camera and then press Ctrl P and choose object over here. So now if I select this cam controller and if I try to rotate it, my camera is gonna move along with this. So if you hit controls, if you press 0 and if you try to rotate your camera, you will get something like this. Okay, so hit 0 and I'm going to select this cam controller, right click and insert one keyframe, then let's move this keyframe at 0 frame, then go somewhere around 120 frame and let's make this proper 360-degree, right click and insert another keyframe. Okay, so if you see, we will get this kind of animation over here. Now right click, go and or over here right click, keyframe interpolation and choose linear. So if you see this animation now, we will get this kind of animation over here like this, and this animation is gonna be in the form of loop. Okay, so you'll get something like this. Now press 0 to get out of this view, and now let's try to add some lights to it. So press shift A, go to the light, and we are going to choose area light. Press S for scaling option and scale light like this. Press 1 GZ and try to bring this over here, and go to the top view. Press G and try to bring this over here. Press R for rotation and rotate it like this. Press R and rotate it like this. R and let's rotate it like this. Okay, and hit 0, choose Z and choose render. Select this area, go to the area and let's choose 5000 or even increase more than that until you can actually see your object. And if you want, you can again increase this light value. It's totally up to you. I'm going to choose somewhere around like this. You can choose a light value according to your needs. And let's check out this animation in cycles. So we are getting something like this. Let's go to the Eevee again. Let's go to the top view. I'm going to select this area light. I'll shift D and rotate it like this, then select this and shift D and let's rotate these two lights like this and try to adjust it over here like this. And if I hit 0 and if I see this animation in cycles now, and let's go over here and let's choose denoise, I'll get this kind of stuff over here like this. And now we need to add some base. So shift A, go to the mesh and we will add one plane, and let's try to increase the value of plane totally up to like this, and let's try to increase this size of that plane over here. And if you want, you can select any one of this light over here and you can increase the value a little bit of that light, or you can choose the color of that light as well. Like I'm going to choose this bluish color over here. Okay, and you can try to increase the value of that light over here like this. Okay, it's totally up to you. Let's make this somewhere around like this. Okay, I think this much looks good to me. And now if I hit play, I'll get this animation somewhere around like this. Okay, and if you see this animation in Eevee, you will get something like this. Now over here, another thing you can do is that you can select your camera, go to the camera settings and you can enable the depth of field. Go to the camera over here, go to the depth of field settings, and then we will increase the depth of field over here. So let's increase this value somewhere around like 200. Okay, and let's see where we can adjust our focus distance. So let's make this 100, or let's choose 80, or with the help of that you can pick up any object over here and you can choose f-stop somewhere around like this. over here like this. Okay, let's close this and let's choose 150. You have to adjust this value manually, that where you want to focus. And if you see this in cycles, we will get something like this. Okay, so you have to adjust the distance according to your needs. I'm going to make it somewhere around like 220 maybe, like this, or let's say 200. So camera will focus over here like this, over here. Let's do one thing, let's select yellow, I mean white color only, because this looks quite weird. And let's increase this value a little bit over here. Okay, like this. Okay, and now if you hit play, we will get this animation over here. So this is how you can create this kind of looping animation.